What if I told you the fastest way to produce tons of thumb-stopping short videos involves smarter tools instead of bigger crews? You can seriously turn one long review into a stack of ready-to-post clips in under 20 minutes with the right system. Best part is, this process doesn't demand a full production day, extensive travel, or endless rounds of revisions. The resulting edits will look incredibly organic, land just like genuine user-generated content, and immediately capture audience attention. That happens because the automated edits themselves are doing all the heavy lifting and speaking for the brand. Today, I'm going to walk you through my exact workflow step by step so you can implement it right away. We'll cover how to pinpoint the perfect long-form content to extract clips from in the first place. Then, we'll look at studying top-performing competitor ads to gather potent hook ideas for your own work. Next, you will learn how modern large language models can craft scripts that sound genuinely natural and human. Most importantly, I'll show you how to leverage a tool like Vizard to automatically handle the bulk of the editing workload. This includes instantly extracting viral moments, generating multiple short edits, and managing the entire publishing schedule. Let's start with the product selection for this walkthrough, which is Kylie Cosmetics' popular face moisturizer. Skincare is chosen as the example because it is brutally unforgiving when it comes to showing texture, shine, and application. If you can successfully create believable, honest-feeling clips for this category, you've successfully cleared a very high production bar. However, this exact extraction approach applies equally well to tech demos, podcast snippets, webinars, or brand interviews. It all comes down to identifying the specific moments within the long-form asset that genuinely resonate with viewers. Moving on to step 1. You must systematically mine the content being produced by your competition for inspiration. Don't limit your search only to the biggest brand names. Look one step above and also at brands sideways to your niche. For instance, I pulled a couple of short UGC hooks from public ads by brands like Native and Lay to study their approach. This isn't about copying their work, but purely about dissecting their rhythm, phrasing, and overall pacing structure. One highly effective hook I observed was very short, personal, and immediately conveyed a strong, positive reaction, simply stating, "Wow." Another successful example used a playful question paired with a surprising payoff to instantly boost viewer retention. The winning formula there was essentially hook plus surprise equaling instant, locked-in attention from the viewer. Once you have these successful ad transcripts, you should absolutely use them as flexible templates, not as exact, rigid copies. If your goal is to scale content creation velocity, you simply cannot afford to rewrite every single line from scratch every time. Instead, you feed those transcripts and your product page copy directly into a good large language model to adapt the tone. I prompt the model by asking it to generate 5 natural-sounding UGC-style short scripts specifically tailored for my product. What you receive are valuable options covering distinctly different emotional and rational triggers for your audience. These angles often include a first-person testimonial, a before and after routine, or even a deep dive into the ingredients. You might also get a skeptical turned fan narrative or a quick morning routine hook, all of which are pure gold for testing. Now, here's the critical point where most content creators stop working and become bogged down in manual effort. They mistakenly believe they must schedule brand new shoots or hire expensive actors for every single piece of content they need. This is precisely where a platform like Vizard completely changes the efficiency paradigm for your entire creative output. Instead of setting up new shoots, you simply feed your existing long video assets, interviews, demos, or live streams, into the system. Vizard then automatically analyzes the entire recording to identify the most engaging snippets based on audience behavior data. It intelligently pulls out those segments that contain the best emotional beats and the strongest spoken hooks automatically. I am talking about generating the exact clips you would have manually selected, but Vizard accomplishes this feat in mere minutes. Let's see the workflow in actual practice with that testimonial clip about the moisturizer we mentioned earlier. I uploaded a single raw testimonial segment, which was approximately 2 to 3 minutes in total length, to the platform. Vizard immediately scanned the file, detected natural attention peaks, and surfaced a handful of short clip candidates, maybe 6 to 18 seconds long. From those options, I simply previewed them to select only the ones that perfectly matched my pre-written scripted hooks. Then, I used the very light editing tools to just tighten the exact in and out points for flawless timing. Adding automated captions and choosing the best thumbnail frame were the last simple steps before exporting. That's literally the entire process. No complex timeline management, no nested sequences, just intelligent moment selection. The feature, officially named Auto Editing Viral Clips, is genuinely the function that saves dozens upon dozens of hours every single week. But please, never completely sleep on the actual quality of the verbal performance that your content relies upon. If you need a very specific speech tonality to match a certain marketing vibe, you have the power to create explicit audio guides. I often record my own reference delivery, capturing the exact cadence and inflection I desire for the final clip. You can use that reference guide during manual voiceover sessions or pair it with high-quality text-to-speech when you need maximum scale. The absolute key here is ensuring the final speech always remains natural and genuinely conversational for the viewer. Fortunately, Vizard's automated edits are designed to respect that natural flow, keeping the speaker's original cadence intact so they feel real. Next up, we talk about creating variants, which is where thinking like a growth marketer truly becomes essential for success. Instead of producing just one good clip, you need to create 4 to 8 distinct variations of the same core idea to test effectively. These variations involve swapping out the thumbnail, tweaking small text overlays, offering alternate time cuts, and changing the captions. Vizard makes duplicating a clip and only changing those couple of key elements stupidly easy, allowing you to test with incredible speed. One variation might focus heavily on emphasizing a specific key ingredient, like hyaluronic acid for the detail-oriented buyer. Another variant could simply showcase a compelling before and after transformation beat to drive visual proof. A third version might highlight a simple routine hack, like using just 2 pumps every morning and night for practicality. Scheduling consistency is what truly separates sporadic hobby posts from achieving significant, measurable brand growth over time. Vizard's integrated auto-schedule feature lets you define the exact cadence, such as posting 3 clips daily across all your channels. The tool then queues and posts everything automatically according to your predetermined optimal posting windows, no oversight needed. You completely avoid the tedious task of manually dragging files into individual social media publishing interfaces during peak times. When you combine that with the content calendar, you gain a single pane view showing exactly what is going live, when, and where it will appear. For teams working together, this centralized calendar immediately cuts down on unnecessary back-and-forth communication by 90%. Now, let's discuss testing at massive scale, because one good clip is fine, but sustained growth comes from multiplying your winners. I structure all my advertising and organic efforts around 2 primary campaign types: prospecting and scaling. Prospecting is the crucial stage where you pour in a large volume of creative variants to quickly find your highest performing hooks. In AD manager terms, each new ad set should be loaded up with 4 to 8 completely new creative variations to run concurrently. Once a specific creative consistently hits your target key performance indicator, you immediately promote that proven winner into a scale campaign. A scale campaign utilizes a clean, fresh audience segment and is optimized with a broader, more confident budget allocation. The secret sauce is continuously feeding new, untested variations back into the initial prospecting pool for ongoing discovery. Vizard significantly assists this remixing process by allowing you to rapidly iterate on a winning clip with minimal effort. You might just change the caption, adjust the crop slightly, or re-export it as a slightly shorter 15-second cut, and it's ready. Now, let's briefly compare this to other editing and scheduling solutions you might currently be using in your toolkit. Editors like Descript or CapCut are fantastic for manual editing, but inherently require hands-on authoring for every single required variation. Many standalone scheduling tools exist out there, yet they almost never integrate the crucial smart clip discovery feature we just discussed. Other platforms often become prohibitively expensive because they are structured for single, large projects, not continuous engine operation. The core advantage of this streamlined approach is the combined power of automation working alongside scalable output. It automatically finds the moments, builds the necessary variants, and handles the scheduling, drastically cutting down cognitive load. Where other tools force you to choose between deep editing power and simple scheduling convenience, this flow delivers both seamlessly. Let's quickly cover a few of my favorite pro tips that I always use when building these high-volume content campaigns. Number 1 is always be hook first. If the first 2 or 3 seconds don't feel truthful and interesting, the rest simply won't matter. Use those competitor hooks you analyzed earlier as solid templates, but always work to humanize the phrasing for your unique brand voice. Secondly, remember that shorter cuts, specifically those between 6 and 12 seconds, often outperform longer clips on discovery feeds. However, you must still keep 15 and 30-second options available for platforms or placements where that slightly longer format converts better. For captions, while auto-generated ones are convenient, you must always manually clean up critical terms like ingredients or specific brand mentions. Transcription errors, even small ones, can quickly destroy the essential trust you are trying to build with your new audience. My third favorite play is to recycle proven audio performances across different faces and new text overlays to create sonic consistency. This technique allows you to vary the visual presentation while maintaining a consistent and recognizable auditory signature for your clips. Finally, always use a data-informed remix strategy. When a winner emerges, dedicate a fresh pack specifically for its close iterations. Do not flood your main scale campaign with brand new, unproven creatives, but test those remixes in a separate prospecting environment. Here is one of my absolute favorite high-leverage plays for content batching and extreme efficiency in one afternoon. Take a single live stream or a lengthy product review and use the system to batch create a massive 30 candidate clips from it. You upload that master file, let the auto-edit engine surface those 30 potential cuts, and then you triage the top 12. Those selected 12 clips can then be scheduled thoughtfully across the next 2 weeks to maintain a consistent presence. Congratulations, you now have a steady stream of cohesive content that looks like it was made by a dedicated team sourced from one session. This entire machine was actually produced and set up in less time than a standard half-day internal team meeting. Before we conclude, a final essential note regarding ethics and platform policies must always be kept front of mind. The most important rule is simply to keep your messaging honest and never, ever fabricate product claims for short-term gains. If you are utilizing any likeness-inspired scenes or synthesized voice elements, you must remain acutely mindful of intellectual property rights. The best user-generated style content achieves believability because it genuinely feels real, not because it's trying to masquerade as a celebrity endorsement. So, to quickly summarize the entire scaling framework for your content engine, here is the essential sequence. First, diligently study those high-performing competitor hooks to understand what currently works in your market. Second, utilize LLMs to generate authentic, natural-sounding UGC scripts that perfectly adapt the winning concepts to your product. Third, let Vizard take over the heavy lifting by auto-extracting and editing the best moments into dozens of unique short clips. Fourth, create structured test packs where you systematically iterate on those initial clips for deep performance analysis. Finally, deploy auto-scheduling and the content calendar to ensure everything runs with relentless, reliable consistency across all platforms. This is precisely the modern operating model many successful brands are using to transition from sporadic posting to a full creative machine. If you are curious to see how this all looks when executed on a real-world project, I'm including my exact project files and presets in the notes below. These little tweaks to caption templates and thumbnail framing will save you an immense amount of redundant editing time going forward. I strongly encourage you to try this process just once. Pull a single long video and post 4 variations from it over the next 7 days. You will be genuinely surprised by how quickly you can build meaningful content momentum using this automated methodology. All right, that concludes the comprehensive overview of this ultra-efficient content creation workflow for you today. Next time, I'm planning a detailed teardown of a live campaign, showing you the real performance numbers and how we doubled down on a clear winner. Until then, I want you to focus on starting to batch your content aggressively and immediately stopping the cycle of overproduction. Let these smart, automated clips take the lead and do the heavy selling work for your brand across every platform.